Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Blake from thesplintering.com, and I'm going to do another tale of the toy. It's been a while, but I want to kind of tell the story about how I got this little guy. Now, this is Krang from the first generation of Ninja Turtles toys. There's absolutely nothing special about this guy. Ooh, gotta cut my fingernails. I should probably do that before I finish this. Forget it. Anyway, so this is Krang. He's one of the big villains from the Ninja Turtles series. And like I said, he's not much of anything to scream about. It's just an old toy that I've had since I was a little kid. But what I'm going to do is tell the story about how I got this one, because that's where this gets a little bit interesting. You'll see only his little arms move here. And he came with sort of a robot walker that, hello kitty cat. He came with a robot walker, and those pieces I think I've lost over the years. I think I may have one of the arms for the walker, but that's about it. So all I really have left is this little guy and the cats. Hello, kitty cats. Anyway, so I was a kid with two brothers. We basically shared a lot of our toys when it came to stuff like this. So if we had Transformers or if we had Ninja Turtles and things like that, we didn't get doubles of them. We would each get our own figure, and then we would share them. So my older brother had a few turtles. He had Shredder, and my younger brother had a turtle or two, and he had like Casey Jones, I think. Anyway, but this one came out in 1989, and I really wanted to have a villain figure of my own, because I had a Donatello, and I had a Michelangelo, and I don't know if I had any others, but I wanted a villain figure. And so I asked my mother, because I had enough money to, $5, $6, however much it was back then. Who even knows? But I had enough money to get it myself. And I asked my mom, and I showed her what it looked like. And she's like, oh, no, you can't have that. That's demonic or evil or something like that. Something that she just felt like it looked too gross for me to get. They were kind of on the fence about letting us get Ninja Turtles in the first place. But this one, I think, was just a bridge too far for her, and she told me no. So other than that, they wouldn't let us get Masters of the Universe toys, because God is the master of the universe, that sort of thing. Plus, there's magic in it. We were Transformers kids. We probably would have been able to be G.I. Joe kids if we really got into it, but we really didn't. So anyway, when the Turtles came around, we were able to manage to convince them to let us have the main figures, but this was a hard sell. But then I had a day not too long after that where my mother was off doing something, and my father was going to the store, and I asked him, I said, Dad, can I go to the store with you? And he said, yes. And so I went along with him, and they had this there. And so I asked him if I could spend my own money on this Krang figure. And he's like, okay, yeah, he didn't have a problem with it. And so he let me buy it. I got it home. I had ripped it open, I think, in the car. So there was no chance of getting home, my mom deciding that this was not going to be something I could keep, and I had to take it back. So I ripped it open in the car, and lo and behold, we get back. And sure enough, my mom is back at home. She's like, what did you get? And so I show her, and she's mad at me for getting it, even though she told me not to. But then she starts yelling at my dad about how, she couldn't believe that she would let me get something like this and blah, blah, blah. And he's kind of throwing his hands up like, well, I didn't know. It seemed fine to me. It's not a big deal, I think that's just the kind of difference between guys and girls, or men and women, and that sort of thing. And I think boys and men or whatever a little bit more cavalier with the stuff that they let their kids watch or play with and that sort of stuff. So anyway, so I've had this guy ever since. This point of contention between me and my mother. I doubt she even really remembers this story, and if she saw it now, I don't think she'd really care. But I unfortunately have lost all the little pieces from his walker. He had a little bubble that went over him and two little arms. But I finally had my first villain character. I eventually got a foot soldier and a Bebop and all that sort of stuff. So we were rounding out the full roster of Ninja Turtles between my brothers and I. And so that was this guy, Krang. I really don't have that much else to say about it. He's not worth anything, certainly not in this state. He's just got that neat story behind him, and that's why I call this Tales of the Toy as opposed to something else, because I think it's just kind of a fun story. That's about it. I hope y'all are enjoying all the stuff we're doing on the website this month. That's the 80s August month, where we do a whole bunch of things that are inspired by the 80s or are from the 80s. So you'll find like retro reviews, vintage reviews, and other stuff that's inspired by the 80s. So it could be modern, retro, modern, whatever you want to call it, 80s type stuff. Otherwise, you can go to the Splintering at any time, any month, and find views and reviews for comics and games and all sorts of other pop culture nerd things, stuff that kind of goes under the radar, low visibility projects, that kind of stuff. So definitely go check out thesplintering.com. Check out our store if you want to support what we're doing, because we don't run any ads on the website right now. So the only way to support what we do financially is to buy something from our TeePublic store. So check that out. And follow us on social media. We're the Splintering everywhere except for Twitter, which is _splintering, because some lady is camping on the Splintering without the underscore there. That's it. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope y'all enjoyed this little anecdote. But otherwise, I have nothing else to say about this Krang. Just good looking guy. He's a fine looking fellow. Happy trails, everyone. Bye.